what if there was a way that you could use centralized exchanges through a decentralized protocol? And what if you could also get some airdrops?
Using Wi-Fi without NordVPN could mean sharing your private stuff with more people than you think. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
Find the best cryptocurrency investments. Check out Token Metrics. Use my affiliate link for a discount. Hi, everybody. This is Crypto Rich, working with you to get rich with crypto, filling our pockets with crypto profits. I have with me two of the team from Vortex Protocol. This is another project that's part of the growing fabulous Cosmos ecosystem. And one of the features of the Cosmos ecosystem is how the projects grow by supporting each other and also by airdrops, which is where you get tokens just landing in your wallet for holding some of the other Cosmos assets. Now, before I introduce them, please subscribe, follow me on Twitter, CryptoRichYT, join my official Telegram announcements channel. And if you're still watching me on YouTube, come over to bit.ly/CryptoRichOdyssey, because YouTube is shadow banning and censoring my videos, and bit.ly CryptoRichOdyssey is a decentralized platform support. So please do support my work there. Hey Grover, hey Deadpool, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hey, nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yes, now, Deadpool, you're the one that's the spinning icon, which is the icon for Vortex Protocol. I'll have all the links in the description below so people can go and check that out. And you, Grover, are on another planet, and you're beaming in to let us know about Vortex Protocol. Do you want to say what it is you do with this project, each of you?
Yep, sure. So Deadpool and I are the sort of co-founders of Vortex, which is a perpetual trading platform built on Sei Network, which is a blockchain in the Cosmos ecosystem. I think some people might be familiar with Retrograde, possibly, which is a protocol that I worked on beforehand, which is on Terra, which is sort of a convex protocol built on top of Astroport. Really unfortunate timing with that one, which we got to sort of 50 mil TVL, and then the blockchain kind of ceased to exist. So we went and looked out in the Cosmos and said, what has product market fit? What's a decent protocol to be building here? Perps trading, and maybe we'll get into what that is for some of your viewers. Is a real clear product that has market fit. You can see on Binance, you can see on FTX, you see on KuCoin. People go and they trade this maybe sort of 4 to 5 times the volume of spot Bitcoin. So Bitcoin perps sort of 4 to 5 times larger than.
Okay, hold on a second.
Spot.
Hold on a second. There's a lot I want to dig into, right? So you're both co-founders of Vortex Protocol. Thank you so much. And this project, you worked on a project Retrograde, which was on Terra Network, which, if people don't know, was part of the Luna ecosystem, and that didn't work out too well for people. But Luna is also connected to Cosmos through the IBC protocol, which is a way of allowing these different blockchains within Cosmos to talk to each other. So you're now building Vortex on Sei, which is also part of the Cosmos ecosystem. And by the way, I did an interview with a couple of the team from Sei, and that'll be on my channel, so you can go and watch that. And Sei is a layer 1 platform, and Vortex, my understanding, is an application on top of that layer 1 platform.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you said perpetual. See, well, now I'm not financially trained. I'm not a coder. I'm actually a social worker. So when you say perpetual, what I think of is something that keeps going. You know, like I don't know, was it the perpetual energy? We want that's what perpetual motion. It just keeps on going. My kids, when they were little, they just kept on going, right? But in the financial world, because we're talking about decentralized finance here, what is a perp, or short for perpetual?
Sure. Maybe I'll let Deadpool give the most accurate and concise description of what a perp is.
Yeah. So, first of all, nice to be here. I'm Deadpool, co-founder of Vortex. Just to give a little bit of overview, perpetual futures are future contracts without an expiry date. So obviously this characteristic opens up a lot of different utility for this product. The fact that you don't actually have to exchange asset at expiry, and you can hold and have exposure leverage exposure, long or short exposure on any crypto asset using this derivative. So it is a pretty desirable feature for trading both on chain and off chain.
Yeah.
Right. So that might be like, for example, if I want to trade 5 times leverage on Bitcoin, so I put in $100 and my trade is worth $500. Delivery at a certain date, or it expires at a certain date, but there's no expiry date. It'll just continue until either I lose my house and mortgage and trousers because I put all my $100 life savings into that, or I win and yippee doo, off we go again.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, practically. So what this means is, you turn up to Sei Network, or you turn up to the Vortex UI. You deposit some collateral, so maybe USDC, Axelar USDC, and you would be able to borrow some multiple of that to sort of hold a bigger position than you would otherwise be able to. So that's the difference between spot and perps, is you can take out a leverage position. It doesn't require any of the underlying asset to sort of be there on chain and for people to hold actual Bitcoin. You're just speculating on the price, basically. So then at the end, you get back USDC. So let's say you think that Bitcoin's going up or down, or you think something like a Cosmos native asset like Osmosis tokens or Juno tokens are going to go up or down. Now you have an option where you can come and you can say, all right, I'm going to short this token and I'm going to have a leverage position. And basically, it opens up a whole load of new avenues for strategies, hedging, delta neutral positions, like really, really interesting ideas that haven't otherwise been available on chain. And it's something we think of is missing from Cosmos at the moment. And
right.
That's
okay.
kind of a summary.
Thank you. And I would say to people, look, be careful with leverage trading, because you really, really can lose all your shirts as well as everybody else's shirts in your household. So do be careful. And the flip side of that is you can make some silly gains. Now, you mentioned earlier, Grover, that perpetual trading is available on Binance and some of the other larger exchanges. And what Vortex allows for is for it to happen in a decentralized manner.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the key thing. Right now, your kind of only options to do derivatives trading, like on chain, with the required throughput, with the required like time to execution. It's either like you go onto Solana, perhaps, which has its own problems with outages, or you go to a centralized exchange where they hold custody of your assets, and you don't really necessarily know what's happening behind the scenes. You can see the numbers on your screen, but where are these assets really? So this is what DeFi should be doing. You should be able to go and permissionlessly, transparently, and with custody of your own assets, open these positions and trade with this product. So that's kind of the key idea. And this is kind of allowed by, and if viewers have watched your Sei Network video, hopefully they got some context of what that chain is about, and the fact it has this order book mechanism, which is kind of why this can happen now, rather than running on a general purpose chain. So general purpose chains being something like Juno or Ethereum, or basically most of the chains that your users will be familiar, where they have NFTs and they've got DeFi and they've got all these various apps who are all competing for block space, or you have a lot of congestion, and they're not necessarily optimized for this DeFi purpose. So this is the whole point of an app chain, is it's specifically designed for a single purpose, which is DeFi and trading, which means it allows for this kind of application to be built on top.
Right. Okay. Now, just so people know, one of the things about Sei is that it's incredibly, incredibly fast, like stupidly fast, because to do sort of the trading that we're talking about, you need to be fast. It's no good. It's like, oh, okay, the price has reached my target. Let me sign the transaction. And then 30 seconds later, it's all gone, right?
Yeah.
I've lost my shirt and my trousers because I missed the moment. So it needs to be incredibly fast. And Sei Network is able to do that. And so you're building on top of Sei. And then the other thing, what was it you said about the order book? I just want to make people clear that most of the decentralized applications, the decentralized DeFi applications, the automated market makers like Uniswap and PancakeSwap and Osmosis and SecretSwap, they use pools, buckets. So I trade in and out of the bucket. But a traditional FX provider or something like Binance, they use order books where they list all the orders, and then you can transact with them. And then if I place an order, that also gets listed and somebody can transact with them. Okay, and that allows for a whole other level of I suppose, trading flexibility.
Yeah. Perhaps Deadpool, I don't know if you want to walk through, we call it a derivatives DEX dilemma, and just some of the problems that derivatives have on chain today and how it's solved by building Vortex on top of Sei, and sort of how we tackle those problems.
Yeah, I just think it's important to underline the fact that the reason why automated market makers exist is because of the impossibility, or at least the impossibility that we had in the past, of building an order book on chain. And the reason why Grover actually touched upon this earlier, it's mainly scalability issues, congestion, high fees, et cetera, et cetera. So every automated market maker iteration and update and innovation that has been done from Uni V3, concentrated liquidity, et cetera, are actually all one step towards what central limit order book pricing and efficiency is. So in the moment in which an order book can be built on chain in a decentralized manner, that's just a prime and superior way in terms of flexibility and capital efficiency to trade on the blockchain. So that's kind of in the spot we are in right now. And we can build this because of say, throughput and latency.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, without getting too technical, how are you doing what you're doing? Is it like you're an API that I would transact with in a decentralized manner, and then you know how like Chain Jelly or Change Now or those exchange aggregators work, or even the Exodus wallet or the Atomic wallet? You know, I transact, say, from Atom to CRO, but I don't have to sign into any exchanges. But with Exodus or Atomic wallet or those Chain Jelly or Change Now, there's still a counterparty risk because they've got my asset, and then they're doing everything in the back end, and they might be sending it to Binance or Kraken or whatever, and through their APIs and doing the transaction there. So how does Vortex Protocol get past that? Is it an API thing?
So yeah, I can cover this. Basically, the Vortex smart contract allows any user that's holding a decentralized wallet, Cosmos compatible. Obviously, right now we support Kepler, to post orders on Sei's order book. So that's basically all it does. So you can trade derivatives in a decentralized manner, leveraging the order book that is on chain.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
So there's no counterparty risk at all.
Yeah,
exactly.
Peer to peer. Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's something. And for people who don't know, because people who watch my channel, yeah, there are all sorts of there are those that are expert, probably know more about crypto than I do. There are those that know as much as me or less than me, and there may be people that are new to crypto. In which case, thank you so much for. Please do subscribe, comment, like wherever you are. So then, the problem with counterparty risk is something that peer-to-peer services and crypto solves, because I have counterparty risk if I use a bank, like the Freedom Truckers in Canada. They were using banks, and the government were able to shut them down, but they couldn't do that with a peer-to-peer service. And with an exchange, when there's really busy, or the price is Bitcoin going through the roof or dropping the roof, all of a sudden Coinbase doesn't work anymore because of the counterparty risk. They own the assets, but not so with Sei. So Sei Network are building the order book on chain, and it's fast enough to do that. And then you're interacting with that, you're building on top of that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, what about transaction speeds and fees with Vortex?
Yeah, just on the counterparty point. So I guess if you're new to crypto, like the main selling point and the kind of the point of crypto at its core is it's a new kind of computer which makes trust guarantees. So you now have consensus between everyone on this network that can't be broken, can't be hacked. That's the theory. And because of that, it means that you don't need to have a middleman in any kind of business model. So whether it's financial or auction houses, look at NFTs, you have like peer-to-peer, although OpenSea is probably a bad example. But, you have like these new business models that open up where you don't need a middleman who takes a cut in the center. And if you couple that with some really interesting projects like around, I won't get into this too much, but AI and things like this, it starts to open up some really, really interesting avenues. But yeah, in this case, it's purely trading via a permissionless smart contract, which we have no control over. Nobody, once it's out there and it's running, we obviously test it during the test net. We obviously get it audited, very, very important. So we take security extremely seriously. Once it's out there in the open, like no one can touch your assets, nobody can get to them. It's all using crypto, using these trust guarantees that are baked into the software itself. So I think that's something quite important. And I've rambled for so long that I've forgotten your next question.
It was about the speed and the fees.
Got it. Yep. I think so. Maybe Deadpool, if you want to touch on some of these points. I know they're load testing Sei right now. I don't know if you've got the numbers in front of you, but it's pretty rapid.
It's nice, like you always introduce my answers. But anyways, like, from a technical perspective, we obviously leverage Sei as a blockchain. So in terms of fees, kind of the revolution here is being Sei, a DeFi specific chain. It kind of solves the congestion problem. So fees are extremely low, which is obviously very important when building a high throughput and high volume decentralized derivative exchange. In terms of latency, again, it depends on block time on Sei, and as you mentioned earlier, it is crazy fast with respect to its competitors right now. I think the latest data from testnet is sub 1 second finality, and this is very important both from a user's perspective for people that, as you said, want to trade with high leverage and need to close position fast, but also for security. As a matter of fact, liquidations run very smoothly when latency is low. So that's also something that we're leveraging from Sei Network.
Right. Okay. And I think Dan said in the video about Sei, it's 0.8 tenths of a second is the transaction time, which is incredibly fast. And I mean, Cosmo's assets are really fast, about 5 to 7 seconds with a low fee. 0.8 seconds. That's as good as instant, really, for all intents and purposes. All right. Now, you mentioned, Grover, when you were talking about getting it audited, because one of the things that's really important is that this is secure. I take it it's an open source blockchain, and because the issue of being hacked is real. So what are those things you're doing to take care of security?
Sure. I mean, so Sei are probably the best people to speak on the security of the L1 itself. There's a couple of things. Obviously, getting audited by top firms who've been in the business for a long time is something that they'll also be doing and publishing the results of. I'm sure that they're going to have some kind of bug bounty program, which is also equally important because rather than sort of saying, "Hey, look, you'd probably be familiar with the concept of white hats, grey hats, black hat hackers. Rather than coming in and saying, "Hey, I found a problem, I'm going to exploit it," it's like, well, why don't I go a safer route, get paid for submitting the bug, and then I don't have to go through the trouble of doing this illicitly and getting chased. So that's kind of like one of the other incentives. And it's all about incentives, crypto. And then obviously there's the last point, which is it'll be permissioned. So to deploy a new smart contract, you have to pass it through governance. People have to vote and say yes. And this is all part of the congestion point. We don't want necessarily to have loads of NFT mints and bloats and things coming on and slowing things down.
Coins with a dog's face on them.
Right. Yeah. No, there are no there are no dog coins planned. I mean, if governance votes in a dog coin, we can't do anything about it. It's there's no dog coins for the moment, at least. But we'll probably be able to trade, get some kind of price exposure to dog coins if that's what your poison is, via derivatives. But probably not launching a dog coin. Yeah.
Satoshi's great invention, whole new paradigm for money being reduced to a coin with a dog's face on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Deadpool, you were about to say something.
I just wanted to add the fact that obviously what security they're working on Sei, we're obviously personally auditing our smart contracts with respect to Vortex, and something we're focusing on, which is extremely important in terms of exchanges and derivatives in particular, is liquidity for security. And that's something we've been working on in Vortex and trying to find different innovative ways to have the deepest liquidity for our exchange. And that's obviously something that concerns security as well.
Sure. And anything you got with regards to liquidity that you can tell us about?
So yeah, I can give a little bit of insight. So we're talking to top market makers, both inside and outside of crypto. I'm not going to give any names in terms of offer right now, yeah. But and we're also working in the roadmap to decentralize our liquidity as much as possible, because obviously there's no point in having a decentralized smart contract built on a decentralized chain if you rely on completely centralized liquidity for your exchange. So we are working on let's say, algorithmic market making strategies in which users can very simply provide liquidity for Vortex with one click. And that's kind of like in our roadmap in order to decentralize and make our liquidity as decentralized as possible.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you for that. And then how are people going to know about you? So actually, no, before I do that, I'll ask that in a bit. So what is the point of the token? And what is the ticker symbol for the token?
So
yeah.
So the token, we're working on the tokenomics at the moment. There's a whole host of things that we're considering. We're talking to, and we have experience in launching a project on Terra. We're speaking to a lot of teams. We're learning from some of the lessons from, for example, DYDX, from GMX, other decentralized perps protocols, to try and make sure that one, the token is useful, it's not detrimental to the actual app. Two, it's not being used just to pay market makers, for example, and which results in a chart pattern which resembles the Burj Khalifa. And then lastly, we're not going to launch a token unless basically it makes sense, it's additive to the protocol, and I suggest that there's not a need to have it from day one as part of this platform. So I think the answer to that is stay tuned, and we'll release information as it's the right time to do so. I think that's the best answer I can give.
Okay, and when are you looking to launch your platform?
Yep. So we're going to be ready in November. We'll have to wait for Sei to go live to mainnet. So that could be, anytime December, January, something like that, depending on a few moving parts. So basically, as soon as Sei Network goes live to mainnet, we'll be able to deploy on there from day one.
Okay, but you said Sei Network going live December, January. You're launching November.
Oh no, we'll be ready to go from around then.
Right.
But then we'll just kind of be not kicking back, but waiting.
Enjoying Christmas. All right. And then, is there a test net that people can try it out?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So hopefully there'll be a link in there, trade.vortexprotocol.io, and you can go on there. You can try out. We've got sort of a rudimentary testnet up at the moment. We're just testing, transactions, liquidations, see if you can break things. This is kind of the point of the testnet, is see if things break and give them feedback. There are rewards for doing that. So I recommend everyone joins both our Discord and also the Sei Discord, because on Sei you'll be able to see the instructions for missions. So there are specific missions to sort of take part in, and a little Google form to fill out, say, yes, I've done them. And if you do that, then you'll be eligible for Sei airdrop. And then we're also going to have a little trading competition, breaking competition coming up in the next couple of weeks, which you'll be eligible for the Vortex airdrop as well. So one thing I'd point out is that the Sei testnet is what they've allocated 1% of their total token supply to this testnet, which, you think, 1%, that's not much. That's a huge, huge amount for an L1 to allocate to a testnet. I'll let you do the math, I guess. But it's if you want to get some of those tokens, which seems like a good idea, then I would definitely get stuck in.
Okay. All right. Well, which leads on to my next question, which was going to lead on to airdrops as a possible answer, which is, well, what you don't want to happen is that you launch your application, nobody comes along to use it. So what are you doing to let people know about Vortex?
Yeah. So I think, there's a couple of markets here, really. There's the existing centralized exchange users. There's institutions, sort of whales. So by offering people the best possible trading experience with the lowest possible fees and in a complete decentralized manner, it's pretty attractive for people because, well, first of all, you don't have to fill out any KYC to use your exchange. That's something that a lot of people might value. Secondly, we'll be able to give a wide variety of sort of exposure to some interesting assets on Vortex as well, which don't exist on Cosmos right now. So we think from a product point of view, like there's quite a few unique selling points. And then obviously we work on sort of marketing, coming onto good shows like this to spread the word, get people familiar. And we're definitely not shy when it comes to gamification, and it comes to sort of how do we make this kind of interesting, exciting. DYDX did a nice job of their hedgies and their leaderboards and ELO rankings and things, and GMX similarly have their sort of little NFT collection and things like that. So we're definitely ideating around that and how we can bring gamification and some of those nice nice tactics to Vortex as well.
Right.
I just wanted to add something on what Grover said. That basically the best marketing tool at the end of the day, it's our product. Other than being extremely efficient and with respect to its peers and competitors on chain, and being decentralized, permissionless, and trustless with respect to its competitors on centralized exchanges, I think we're also not shy, not only on gamification but also on leveraging the composability nature of DeFi to build some kind of exotic products which are very helpful for different practices on the blockchain. So we're going to have a lot of differentiator and a lot of good selling points and a lot of reasons for users to come and play with our smart contracts.
Right. And then, of course, to get it all going, you're going to have the airdrops, because that was how I discovered Osmo, because I just happened to buy Atom on a whim. And then I learned I was going to get Osmo, and then I was like, oh my God, this is good. And then that was it. Stuck in IBC since then. So tell us about the airdrops. There's the airdrop for people who participate in the testnet, but how's it going to be? When's it going to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we haven't set a date just yet, and it sort of has to coincide with when we actually launch the token, and when it makes sense to do so. I think that as we go, we want to incentivize the right kind of people. So we want to incentivize people who are trading. We want to incentivize people who are building on top. And we also want, just to support the community, have competitions, just sort of have fun with it. And I think that's the main thing. And until we decide exactly when to launch the token, I can't set a firm date just yet. But yeah, we'll obviously keeping a list. I don't want to call it a white list, but I guess it kind of is.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure. And then one other thing that I want to mention is that the token will be used for the governance voting. So if people would want to say, listen, this application to be able to run, or we want it to go this way, or we need more, we just want to be a dog face coin perpetual DEX.
Yeah.
Vote for that. And they had to have tokens to vote.
So yeah, I mean, once the token's out there, then governance is, it's a decentralized project. People can vote on the direction and, whether to, go one way or the other. I sincerely hope they don't vote to turn it into a dog-themed exchange, but that's that's one route that could be taken. But yeah, no, a serious note. Yeah, it's really important to us that for this to be decentralized, they can't be like head honchos, head teams, sort of like centralized point of failure. For this to run effectively, it needs to be decentralized with the decision making taken by a wide variety of users and stakeholders. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Fabulous. Deadpool, Grover, anything else you want to let us know that we haven't covered?
I think so. By now, when the video is out, we should have seen, there's a recent announcement, Sei sort of fundraising round, and some of the partners and supporters there should speak volumes about support for Sei. And you can kind of imagine that we're speaking to some of the same parties as well in terms of supporting the platform, making sure everything's in place, getting the best possible advice, making sure that, we're listening to the guys who really have, are really in the weeds and all these things, market makers and the like. So I think that's just one point to raise. And then the second is, come and get involved and join the Discord. Come and ask questions. We're around most of the time to answer the questions. We've got some great mods from way back, when we were working on Retrograde, and they've come along as well. And really happy to have good discussions about the project and what's next. And that's where the alpha comes first too. So definitely come down to Discord.
On my end, if I can also add, obviously like a call to action, come and break the testnet. There's going to be rewards for whoever manages to do that. And other than that, also props to the community, to the Vortex community and the Sei community, which has been amazing since we have announced our launch and on our testnet launch, creating content and being super active on Twitter, on Discord. It has been a very exciting ride, and there's more to come. So props to the community and come and break Vortex. That's kind of like my call to action.
Fabulous. No, thank you for that. And two important points. So one is absolutely get involved. Go check it out. Do your own due diligence, and I have the links in the description below. And the other thing that you said was about the funding. So how is the project being funded currently?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's some allocations, some grants that we've got from Sei itself to sort of build out the MVP. And then obviously we'll end up doing our own round. We're considering doing our own round as well in the near future, subject to when we have all the information together to sort of make it sensible and appealing. So that's another thing that we're looking at. A Vortex round to sort of sustain the project into the future. But we have a decent runway at the moment, just based on the grants that we've got from Sei, which we're grateful for.
Good. Okay. And then how it works in the Cosmos ecosystem. Well, one way it works in the Cosmos ecosystem is projects develop themselves by bootstrapping or getting funding from, privately or something, and then they launch the tokens, airdrop the tokens. And if the community or the public or the users like the project, they find it useful and viable, then the market determines the price of the tokens, and the team will have kept some tokens or been airdropped themselves, and then that's how the project is funded ongoingly. So that's generally one way that it works. Okay, yeah. Grover, Deadpool, thank you so much. You didn't tell me, what is the ticker symbol for Vortex?
Have you decided? We've decided.
Oh, okay.
It's probably going to be just VRTX, but yeah, we'll if we think of a better name, then we'll pre-roll that out.
Well, how about people in the comments suggest a ticker symbol for Vortex, right?
Sure.
Ideally, one that isn't taken, and you can't put down BTC or anything like that. So thank you, guys. Thank you so much. For anybody who's watching, if you have any comments or questions, let me know in the description below. Please do comment, like throw me a ticker symbol of your favorite crypto or even your least favorite crypto, because those comments do support my channel growing. Please click the like button and follow me on Twitter, CryptoRatebyT, join my official Telegram announcements channel. Do check out this project. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Crypto Deadpool and Crypto Grover and Crypto Rich signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.